Once upon a time, Ben Rathbun wasn't just another face on reality TV. Before his name became tied to 90-Day Fiancé drama, he was known as a successful, respected man. A pastor, a husband, a father of 4, and a man who once had it all. But what happened next would turn his life completely upside down, taking him from the pulpit to prison headlines and from love to loneliness. This is the tragic story of Ben Rathbun. Ben Rathbun first appeared on Season 5 of 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, fans were immediately drawn to his calm, soft-spoken nature and his backstory, a man in his 50s searching for a second chance at love after heartbreak. But not everyone believed his story would end well. Before reality TV, Ben lived a very different life. He worked as the executive director of a Michigan-based nonprofit that helped children and families in need. He was also a pastor, known for his inspirational sermons and his seemingly perfect family life. But behind that clean image, cracks were already forming. His marriage had fallen apart, and his career was beginning to crumble. Ben claimed he had gone through a spiritual awakening, one that led him to online dating. And that's when he met Mahogany Roca, a 24-year-old woman from Peru. Their connection began on social media, where Ben said he felt a divine spark. But when their relationship went public on 90-Day Fiancé, fans were quick to notice red flags everywhere. For starters, Mahogany's photos looked heavily filtered, and many believed she was catfishing Ben. But despite his family's and friends' warnings, Ben decided to fly to Peru to meet her in person. His journey quickly turned into one of the most awkward and bizarre storylines in 90-day history. When Ben arrived in Peru, Mahogany didn't show up at the airport. Days later, she finally agreed to meet him, and immediately admitted that she had lied about her age. She wasn't 24, she was 22. Even worse, she seemed cold, distant, and completely uninterested. But Ben didn't want to believe it. He insisted that God had told him Mahogany was the one. Viewers were divided. Some felt sorry for him, while others saw him as delusional. His awkward attempts to win Mahogany over, like showing up uninvited to her apartment or writing long, emotional letters, made him one of the most talked about cast members that season. But once the cameras stopped rolling, Ben's life took an even darker turn. In March 2022, news broke that Ben Rathbun had been arrested in Michigan. The charge? Failure to appear in court for an earlier case involving a suspended driver's license and probation violation. He was briefly jailed, and his mugshot spread across the internet like wildfire. Fans who once saw him as a calm, spiritual man were now seeing a completely different side, one marked by chaos, confusion, and poor decisions. Ben later tried to explain his arrest, saying it was all a misunderstanding. He claimed he had missed his court date because of a communication issue. But for many fans, it was a symbol of how far he had fallen, from respected pastor to reality TV scandal. After that, Ben disappeared from the public eye. Mahogany also vanished from social media, leaving fans wondering what happened to their strange and complicated love story. For a while, rumors swirled that they were secretly married or still together. Then, in a surprising twist, Ben confirmed that he and Mahogany were indeed still in a relationship, and even claimed they had tied the knot in a private ceremony. But not everyone believed it. Many viewers thought Ben was still chasing a fantasy, holding on to a dream that was never real. Others pointed out how uncomfortable Mahogany always seemed around him, suggesting she was pressured into the relationship. What made Ben's story even sadder was how he went from being a man of faith and community service to someone mocked by the internet. Clips of him talking about divine visions or being called by God to love Mahogany became viral memes. The once respected pastor had become a punchline, and while 90-Day Fiancé often turns cast members into overnight celebrities, Ben's fame felt more like a curse than a blessing. The show exposed his vulnerabilities, his insecurities, and his blind faith, all for millions to judge. Behind the scenes, Ben struggled to rebuild his life. He lost his job, his public image, and his sense of purpose. The man who once preached about integrity and faith now found himself facing the harsh reality of public ridicule. By 2023, Ben and Mahogany resurfaced on social media, claiming to be living in Peru together. They posted a few happy photos, smiling and holding hands, trying to convince fans they had found peace. But the comments told a different story. Many people still called their relationship fake, manipulative, or transactional. Today, Ben Rathbun's story stands as one of the most tragic arcs in 90 Day Fiancé history, not because he was the worst cast member, but because he was one of the most sincere. He truly believed in love. He truly believed in destiny. But the world of reality TV isn't built for dreamers. It's built for entertainment, and Ben became its casualty. Whether or not his love story with Mahogany was ever real, one thing is clear. Ben's faith in love cost him everything: his reputation, his career, his peace of mind. And now, the man who once preached about redemption lives quietly in the shadow of his past. A reminder that sometimes chasing love on TV can destroy the very life you were trying to save. This is the tragic story of Ben Rathbun.